Hey guys, Sawadee Cup. Gonna talk today about different stand-up martial arts like karate, boxing, taekwondo, and if these give you a head start. If you've practiced some of those and you want to start up Muay Thai, does that give you a head start on your training? In a certain sense, knowing some attacks, you could say that knowing some attacks is better than not knowing anything. But by the same token, the other side of that coin, if you come in with no knowledge, then there's nothing that needs to be retrained. So, in other words, in boxing, in Western boxing, you're trained to stand sideways and to shell up. This is a perfectly good defense in Western boxing because there's only two weapons that you're going to get hit with. So if you stand sideways like that, you take away a lot of your body, you take away all of your chin, and you're only lowering one of your weapons, and you can still throw it from here. But when you come to train in Muay Thai, even though you know how to stand and how to move in and out, you're going to need to modify that and relearn a lot of things, because in Muay Thai, you're not being attacked with just two weapons, you're being attacked with 8 weapons. 2 fists, 2 elbows, 2 knees, and I would even say 10, because 2 shins and 2 bottom of your feet, which will go into the stomach for a teep kick. So in a certain sense, is it good to have a background in other martial arts? Let's keep with Western boxing as the example. It's good to know to bring your cross off of your back foot and your shoulder, to generate your power off of that back foot and up through your hip and shoulder, rather than thinking that it all comes from your arm. That concept applies in both Western boxing and Muay Thai. But there's a lot that you're going to need to relearn. So in a certain sense, it does give you a head start, but in another way, you're going to need to relearn a lot. So the answer is yes and no. I personally think Muay Thai is a great base art to add other things to. So if you start with a base in another art, and then you come to Muay Thai and you have those other attacks to add on. So for example, if you've been practicing spinning kicks a lot or turning back kicks because you practiced taekwondo before, then you can add those into your weapon, your toolkit for Muay Thai, and that can be a great asset for you. But let's say conversely, here's the arguing point for Muay Thai. Let's say conversely, you're going to say the opposite. So you're going to say, well, I know taekwondo, and I'm going to learn just a little bit of Muay Thai and add some of the Muay Thai to my taekwondo, but taekwondo is going to be my base. The saying that I have on this is simple, but I think it's pretty expansive. Form follows function. So let's say conversely, then having Muay Thai as your base and adding other skills to it. Let's say you have an art as your base that in the training of it, you don't train much punching to the head, or you don't train defending punches to the head very much, because maybe in that art, in the sport version or the competition version of it, there aren't punches to the head. Then, if this is treated as your base art, then guess what? If you train more at this than you do at Muay Thai, you're not going to be good at punching to the head, and you're not going to be good at defending your head from being punched. So that's why I think Muay Thai it has the most expansive and inclusive rule set, and it allows for the most different types of attacks. And that's why I think that Muay Thai is the best base to add other things to. So I always encourage, if people have different tools in their tool set from other arts that they're bringing to Muay Thai, I think that's great. But I think it's the best system to base your game around and add other things to. So again, because you have a background in different fighting arts, does that give you a head start in Muay Thai? Yes and no. It can add things to your toolkit, or it can make you better at, in the case of Western boxing, it can make you better at the punches. But there's going to be things about your overall game that you need to tweak and modify in order to incorporate more offensive techniques and more defenses of more of your opponent's techniques. Cup. See you guys next time.